Hello there and welcome. My name is Cassidy Cash. This is the channel where we explore the history during the life of William Shakespeare. I share that with you through our podcast, That's Shakespeare Life, as well as by DIY history episodes where we look at games, recipes, and crafts from the 16th and 17th century. If you enjoy stepping into the past and exploring what it was like to live the life of William Shakespeare, then this is the place for you. Hit that like and subscribe button because we're here every week. This week, we're taking a look at a recipe from the mid-1550s. It's not quite sure when it got written. It's somewhere between 1552 and 1616, but it was by a man named Sir Hugh Plat, where he tells you how to make a scented sugar for cooking that's called musk sugar. I'm going to share with you the history behind musk in the 16th century, how it was made, and then I'll show you how you can make a version of musk sugar at home using cinnamon, which is not only much easier to get than musk grains, but also more legal. And we'll talk more about that. So stay tuned because there's lots of history to be had right here on DIY History. When Hugh Plat wrote his book, Delights for Ladies, he included a recipe for how to make musk sugar. Well, what is musk, you ask? Musk is that fragrance you think of as being a mainstay in colognes or perfume. It was a very popular fragrance and even a spice or medicinal application in cooking for Shakespeare's lifetime. Muscone is the ingredient in musk that makes it have this smell, and it's obtained from the musk deer. There is a pod or a gland in a pouch under the skin of the abdomen of a male musk deer. There's one historical image that demonstrates this from 1616. And this woodcut is actually labeled musk cat, and it's dated 1616. Fresh musk is a semi-liquid, but then it dries into a grainy powder. While musk was originally derived from the musk deer, this musk fragrance was given to any animal that emitted an odor similar to what you got from a musk deer, including the musk cat, the musk ox, and the musk rat. The fragrance can even be taken from things like the musk beetle, the African civet cat, or even the North American crocodile that has not one but two glands that produces a musky scent. There are also several plants like musk wood and the musk flower that produce this scent. And of course, today we have completely synthetic versions of this smell as well that don't come from animals or plants. Now, this specific fragrance attracts the person or animal smelling it, which is what makes it so popular for use in colognes. Now, if you've ever been to the zoo, though, where you've gotten to see a civet cat or you've smelled a musk ox in person, it can be a little hard to understand how you can go from this nasty smelling animal to an attractive fragrance. But the way it works is you distill it down, and from the original secretion, you get an attractive fragrance ingredient that does actually smell good. But if you've only smelled the animal, you may have to just trust me about how they go from stinky cat to beautiful fragrance. We do know that it's possible to make this happen, though, and we know it from Shakespeare's plays that specifically talks about the civet cat and perfume. In As You Like It 3:2, the courtier's hands are perfumed with civet. And it must have been a especially pungent smell for Shakespeare's lifetime, too, because Don Pedro in Much Ado About Nothing says the fragrance was quite pervasive. He says, "Nye, rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?" Very fragrant. That comes from Act 3, Scene 2. The musk secretions of the civet cat specifically were used in the 16th century for homeopathic treatments. Now, this is medical treatments. You could treat fatigue, stomach sickness, colic, and even give it to pregnant women as a protection for the unborn baby. And of course, musk was also used, as it is today, as an aphrodisiac. The smell of musk specifically can be found in Shakespeare's plays. You can see it in All's Well That Ends Well. The clown mentions the musk cat. He says, "Here is a purr of fortune, sir," or of fortune's cat, but not a musk cat. So he's making this distinction that I'm not talking about a musk cat. That's from Act 5, Scene 2. And remember, the image of the musk deer from 1616 was labeled as musk cat. So the clown here might actually be talking about a deer, but that requires more investigation than I was able to do by the time of today's episode to figure that out. But either way, the animal from which they get musk was mentioned in Shakespeare's plays. Hostess quickly talks about musk being a sweet smell when she says, "Smelling so sweetly, all musk." That's from Merry Wives of Windsor, Act 2, Scene 2. The sweet-smelling musk rose is mentioned 3 times in A Midsummer Night's Dream. So even for Shakespeare's lifetime, it seems there were plant places where you could get this musk fragrance instead of only relying on animals. The wide range of applications for musk might explain why, for the 16th century, and Hugh Plat in particular, he wanted to include a recipe for musk sugar. The recipe itself is very simple. The hard part is getting a hold of the granular musk. So the recipe itself says, bruise 4 or 6 grains of musk, place them in a piece of sarcenet, fine lawn, or cambric doubled, and lay this in the bottom of a galley pot. Straining your sugar thereon, stop your pot close, and all the sugar in a few days will both scent and taste of musk. And when you have spent that sugar, you may lay more sugar thereon, which will also receive the like impression. Such musk sugar is sold for 2 shillings the pound. So the sarcenet is a piece of silk fabric. And so you would basically be putting the musk in the fabric, folding it over and laying it down in the sugar, and then pouring the sugar on top and letting it sit there. And the fragrance is going to eke out into the sugar and make something that you can cook with. Now, while I saw musk oil listed at Walmart, I didn't trust that to be something that you would want to eat afterwards. And I don't know that much about oils, so I didn't want to go with that route. I also found one seller online who sells Himalayan musk powder, and that looked pretty authentic. It looks like it's probably a good example of the kind of musk they would have used in Hugh Plat's recipe. I will provide you a link to this so you can see what it looks like. To order that was going to be close to $100 before I paid the shipping to have it sent to me. So I didn't buy authentic musk. If you want to use authentic musk, I'm going to put some links to where you can see that listed online, and I'm going to let you use your own judgment about buying that. Because for me, as I was investigating the prospect of trying to obtain 16th century musk, it became abundantly clear that it may or may not be completely legal to purchase these musk grains. I could definitely found some places, there are some countries like India where it is illegal to purchase musk grains. And so I didn't want to be doing anything that might get me in trouble. So I decided not to purchase actual musk. And instead, today, for this recipe, I am going to be using cinnamon. If you want to try making 16th century recipe for scented sugar at home, you can use this episode to explore the fun history of musk, and then you might want to make it on your own using a cinnamon stick to avoid harming any animals or getting in trouble. But anyway, here's how it works. You take about 1 cup of plain sugar and place it in a bowl that has a lid. You want to place 1 to 2 sticks of cinnamon into the sugar and let it sit for about 3 days. Then when you go to cook with it, you now have cinnamon infused sugar. And again, if you don't want powdered cinnamon in with your sugar, you're going to want to wrap the cinnamon stick in cheesecloth or some other cover to keep it separate so that all you're getting is the fragrance. The longer you let it sit there, the stronger your fragrance is going to be. And when you go to open it up and cook with it, it smells like whatever you scented it with. So in our case, it smells like cinnamon. You can only imagine what the musk smell would have been in the sugar from those civet cats. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. If you try out your own 16th century recipe for how to make scented infused sugar, please let me know about it in the comments. And don't forget to check out the show notes for today's episode. I do have extra history, including links to where you can find musk and pictures of what that looks like packed into the show notes for today. So make sure you go there to see those. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.